Ladies and gentlemen, my name's StrifeTech and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? On trial today, Outriders demo. Releasing in April of 2021, this was made by People Can Fly. This is the same developers responsible for Bulletstorm and Painkiller. Outriders is a third-person looter shooter with some RPG aspects. The game itself doesn't come out until April 1st, so the best we can do is analyze the demo which they've released. I went into this hoping for a good story. This is published by Square Enix, known for some of the best stories in the industry. What I ended up with is a generic mess delivered by a camera almost as shaky as the one filming Liam Neeson trying to jump over a fence.
What's on your mind, boss? I know that look you get.
It's like they tied the camera to a fishing pole and then tried to film.
By the way, got a stall near Chang's place.
I can understand the use of shaky cam for fight scenes or moments of intense action to try to make the watcher feel like it's more realistic, but here I am just casually walking up to a vendor.
Welcome back. You look like you got some weary bones. What are you shopping for?
And now I'm on a way too intense first date? I don't think they're really talking about guns. Anyway, it's so bad that in the recent patch notes they actually talked about a potential fix. But removing the FPS cap doesn't change how it was filmed, so I don't have high hopes this will really help with anything. They honestly just need to go back, hire a professional, and recapture the footage. And now the story in a looter shooter does not have to be amazing. As long as the gameplay is great, the story can be subpar. The story just can't detract from the overall experience. But between the bad voice acting...
The signal isn't coming from the probe. It's coming from outside our search zone, somewhere else on the planet.
That's impossible. There is nobody else. Secure the hard drive. We'll analyze that signal back at base.
The cringy and choppy cinematics...
Oh, come on! It's right in the middle of my line.
You were taking too long.
Planning it all the way here.
Thanks for the rescue anyway.
Again, really wasn't here for you.
and the predictability. It's just awful. The story itself is doing no favors to the game, and it's just a hindrance to the overall experience. The gameplay has an identity crisis. They're trying to push an aggressive fighting style by not only telling you, but giving each class the ability to heal by doing damage. But the training the game gives you is all about the cover system. The maps are littered with cover spots where you'd hide, peek out, and take shots. So do you want me to play aggressive, or do you want me to hide behind the cover? I tried to be aggressive. I tried to use the cover system. I tried to do a mix of both of them, given there are those two systems in the game. None of it was good. The shooter portion of this looter shooter just didn't feel right. I also quickly found out that the game was not meant to be played solo. Not that it can't be played solo. The game just shined a little brighter when playing in a group. Abilities melded together well. While playing in a group, you didn't have to use that cover system as much, and you could really actually be aggressive as the game wanted you to be. They did do a little better on the looter portion. It was fun to find gear that had game-changing perks. Perks that in many other games you'd only find near the end game. But here, they give it to you at the low levels, making loot interesting and impactful. But this in no way helps the identity crisis that is Outriders. So the camera shake I already addressed. The next big issue to look at is the motion blur. This is the worst implementation of motion blur I have ever seen. It literally hurts to watch. Developers, if you want to put motion blur in your game, don't. But if you still feel like you must, please just add an option to turn it off. Luckily, in those same patch notes, they did mention that they are adding a disable feature for motion blur, so they are listening to us at least. Sadly, that's just going to make the game only a little bit more palatable. Besides the motion blur, the graphics in general are just tinted brown. Everywhere's just brown and muddy. Hopefully that's just because of the places the demo sent us. The intro was much more beautiful as you ran around the world of Enoch, but once past that, everything's just tinted brown. All in all, the game looks pretty good. I did get some frame dips when I was running around the city, but during gameplay itself, the frame stayed high enough that I didn't have much of a problem. As I was sitting here writing this review, I couldn't think of a single tune or even recall if there was a soundtrack. I knew there had to be, so I went and reviewed my footage, and sure enough, there's a pounding beat in the background and some generic gameplay shooting music. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It didn't take away from the experience, but it also didn't enhance the experience at all. The rest of the noise, such as gunplay and combat, seemed to be fine. I did find the footstep noise to be a tad off. I found myself looking for enemies in places based on the footsteps and not finding them there. But yeah, the game does have sounds and it does have music, but you probably won't recognize or even remember any of it. So, is it worth your time? Nope, not at all. Had this been an alpha, I would have said the game's shaping up to be pretty good, and I'd praise the developers for listening to their community. But this is a demo releasing in less than a month, so basically this is the finished product. And based off of this demo, I have no plans on playing this game again. There are so many other good games out there right now that this is just not worth your time or money. That being said, this is a free demo. You can go download it and check it out for yourself. My name has been StrifeTech, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, by all means, feel free to click that like and subscribe button, comment and share. That makes the algorithm like me a little bit more. And I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?